For most of human history, language felt transparent, a tool, a bridge between minds, a mirror held carefully against the world. But what if the mirror bends? What if grammar carries hidden assumptions, not only about communication, but about reality itself? Every language divides experience differently. Some carve time into measurable units, others emphasize process. Some orient the world around left and right, others around north and south. And slowly, quietly, those structures begin shaping attention itself, not imprisoning thought, but guiding it, illuminating certain patterns while leaving others in shadow. And once a civilization speaks within those patterns long enough, the structures begin to feel natural, obvious, invisible. The mountain has changed now. We are no longer asking how language names the world. We are asking whether language helps construct the world we experience.
All right, if language carves the world conceptually, if meaning is relational, then here's the dangerous step. What if different linguistic systems carve reality differently? What if speakers of different languages are not just labeling the same world, but inhabiting slightly different ones?
And if that's true, then disagreement may run deeper than opinion. You've just stepped into the territory of Benjamin Lee Whorf, and this is where things get controversial. Whorf proposed that the structure of a language influences, even shapes, how its speakers perceive reality. Not vocabulary, structure, grammar, not what you say, but how your language forces you to say it.
This is where people usually bring up that old myth about Eskimo words for snow, which, to be clear, doesn't prove anything.
Correct. Vocabulary differences are superficial. Whorf was interested in something deeper. Take English. Our sentences are structured as subject plus predicate. The lightning strikes. We separate the actor from the action. We treat events as objects performing behaviors.
Because that's how reality works. Something does something.
Is it? Physics tells us there is no thing called lightning separate from striking. Lightning is the strike. The event and the object collapse into one process. Yet our grammar forces us to split them.
So we inherit metaphysics every time we open our mouths.
Actor, action. Noun, verb.
So you're suggesting that grammar smuggles metaphysics into everyday speech?
Precisely. Whorf examined the Hopi language and argued that its structure treats time and process differently from English. In English, we count time like objects: 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Time becomes a row of units, discrete, stackable. We schedule it, budget it, spend it.
That's just practical. We need calendars.
Of course. But Whorf claimed that Hopi grammar emphasizes duration and becoming, process rather than objectified time. If that's true, then language isn't just labeling experience, it's directing attention, highlighting some patterns, downplaying others.
But this is where I push back. Influence isn't imprisonment. If Hopi grammar created an entirely different physics, then translation would be impossible. Yet Hopi speakers can learn Newtonian mechanics. English speakers can learn Hopi concepts. The mind isn't locked inside grammar. It can notice its own habits.
Good. That's an important correction. Strong linguistic determinism, the idea that language traps thought completely, doesn't hold up. But moderate linguistic relativity? That's harder to dismiss. Studies show that speakers of languages with different color categories notice color boundaries differently. Languages that use cardinal directions, such as north, south, east, and west, instead of left and right, produce speakers with extraordinary spatial awareness. They always know where north is. Attention is shaped. Patterns become salient.
So language acts like a spotlight. It doesn't change the stage, but it changes what's illuminated and what remains in shadow.
Yes. And once something is repeatedly illuminated, it becomes cognitively easier to perceive, which raises the stakes. If grammar guides attention, then cultural emphasis follows, and perception gradually aligns with structure.
But now I want to bring in a counterweight. Because if we lean too far here, we risk implying that culture writes directly onto a blank mental slate. And that doesn't match what cognitive science tells us. Before we drift too far into linguistic relativism, we need a counterweight. Enter Noam Chomsky.
Ah, universal grammar.
Exactly. Chomsky argues that children are born with an innate linguistic framework.
We should go exploring in the woods because it's very wondrous out
A
there.
biological structure
I like
that generates
trees.
grammar. We don't absorb language passively. We produce it creatively. Children say things they've never heard before.
I go to the park
I go to the park.
and I run fast.
I run fast. They're applying internal rules, not copying.
Which suggests the mind precedes language, or at least shapes it.
Yes, Steven Pinker expands this further. He calls language an instinct, an evolved adaptation. The brain comes equipped with pattern recognition architecture. Language rides on that architecture. So the brain provides constraints. Language explores within them. The hardware shapes the software.
But the software still feeds back into perception. Just because grammar emerges from neural structure doesn't mean its effects are neutral. Consider this. Biology gives us a vocal tract, but what we choose to speak about, law, justice, honor, debt, reshapes social reality.
I see the layering now. Let me try to synthesize. Biology provides the cognitive scaffolding. Language fills it with structure. Structure directs attention. Attention shapes interpretation. But none of this eliminates the underlying physical world.
That's well put. Language does not rewrite gravity, but it can reshape how gravity is understood. Is it punishment? Is it law? Is it divine order? Is it curvature of space-time? Each linguistic framework reframes the same phenomenon.
So perhaps we were wrong to frame this as a binary. It's not language or reality. It's co-evolution. Mind shapes language. Language shapes attention.
And then he said the funniest thing about the waiter. I honestly
Attention
couldn't stop
shapes
laughing.
experience.
Sounds like you had quite the afternoon.
Experience feeds back into mind.
And that circularity is important.
If language shapes attention, and attention shapes interpretation, then what happens when symbolic systems fragment?
Then shared reality becomes harder to maintain.
We should try the new Italian place. Yeah.
Because it means we are
I heard
neither
the service is
trapped
great.
nor sovereign.
Wait, I thought you said it was terrible. Why are you laughing?
It is terrible. We should go.
We inherit symbolic systems, but we also modify them.
Which makes the question more urgent. If language subtly shapes perception, then the symbolic systems we participate in today matter profoundly. The words we repeat, the metaphors we amplify, the categories we normalize.
Careful, we're not at the summit yet. But yes, the air is thinner. What we're beginning to see is this. Language does not create the mountain. Biology does not create the map. Both are operating, simultaneously, interdependently.
So we're not imprisoned by grammar, but we're not untouched by it either.
Exactly. And now we face the next ascent. If language shapes perception but cannot fully contain reality, then what happens at the limits of language? What happens when words fail? When experience overflows grammar?
That's not just linguistic, that's existential.
Yes, and that's where we climb next. Because perhaps the deepest truths we encounter are not the ones language fully captures, but the ones language circles around. The ones we feel before we can explain them. And sometimes, the limits of language are where philosophy, consciousness, myth, and human meaning begin to converge.